falling as the sun sinks in the west. The one I love is calling, Shepherd, come home to rest. At hush of eventide, o'er the hills beyond the Clyde, I go roaming to my heaven, down in the glen. Though humble it may be, there an angel waits for me in that lonely little heaven, down in the glen. Across the moonlit heather, my lassie calls as I roam. 'Tis soon we'll be together in that heaven we call home. The sheep are in the fold, and there's peace worth more than gold for the shepherd in that heaven, down in the glen. Well, a very warm welcome to virtually St. Margaret's. Actually, I say warm. St. Margaret's, for those of you who have been here, is never that warm. But like other Scottish venues, we've been dark really since March. And we had planned for 2020 what had been our most diverse and exciting programme, which of course hasn't happened. But over the next few months, we'll be bringing you performances by some of the artists associated with St. Margaret's and a few others. If restrictions are lifted, we'll hopefully have some of those events live, but whatever, we plan to broadcast them to you in the comfort of your home. I'm Colin Hunter, I'm one of the trustees, and I'm delighted to be joined by Eva Robertson, a former resident here of the village in Braemar. Now that was down in the Glen, and I think we've all reacted differently to lockdown. And honestly, being stuck in this most beautiful part of the world in the bubble of Braemar hasn't been that difficult for me and my family. And this year, I have to say, the heather has been amazing. So our next song, which Eva and I both enjoy performing, describes the process of aging most tenderly. And of course, we're all getting older. I have heard the mavis singing his love song to the morn. I have seen the dewdrop clinging to the rose just newly born. But a sweeter song has cheered me at the evening's gentle close. And I've seen an eye still brighter than the dewdrop on the rose. 'Twas thy voice, my gentle Mary, and thine artless winning smile that hath made this world an Eden. Bonny Mary of Argyle. Though thy voice may lose its sweetness, and thine eye its brightness too, though thy step may lack its fleetness, and thine hair its sunny hue, still to me wilt thou be dearer than all the world shall own. I have loved thee for thy beauty, but not for that alone. I have watched thy heart, dear Mary, and its goodness was the while that hath made thee mine forever. Bonny Mary of Argyle. Now, My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose is, of course, a staple of any Scottish tenor. Well, we're going to do it, but with a different melody. This was written by the late James Reith, former head of music at Cults Academy, and Jimmy was my teacher and obviously the composer in this case. And what you will hear is hopefully what he intended as the interpretation, because we rehearsed it on many occasions, and he was very keen, as I hope you'll hear, on the emphasis of the word still. So James Reith's My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like a melody that's sweetly raised in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, say deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, say deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while sands o' life shall run. So fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 mile, and I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 mile. Some of you may know I'm a retired GP, and many of those GPs have been concerned about the restrictions on relatives being able to sit with loved ones during their last hours, coupled with, of course, restrictions on funerals, both of which have undoubtedly disrupted the normal grieving process. This next song reflects on loss. It's been performed by many singers, from Nat King Cole to Eva Cassidy. We hope you enjoy Eva and I's interpretation of it. Autumn leaves fall and are swept out of sight. The words that you said have come true. Autumn leaves fall and are swept out of sight. So is the memory of love that we knew. The wind of forgetfulness blows them into the night of regret. The song we would so often sing is echoing, echoing yet. The falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble. Toi tu m'aimais et je t'aimais. Nous vivions tous les deux ensemble. Toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. During 2020, we of course seen many diminished celebrations around VE Day and VJ Day. Both my father and my wife's father served in Burma during World War II, and Eva's father was wing commander in Lossiemouth. Now, there are some lovely melodies from that era, and Eva and I have chosen this one to celebrate those particular occasions. Certain night, the night we met, there was magic abroad in the air. There were angels dining at the Ritz, and a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm perfectly willing to swear that when you turned and smiled at me, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, poor puzzled moon, he wore a frown. How could he know we two were so in love? the whole damned world turned upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, poor puzzled moon, he wore a frown. How could he know we two were so in love? The whole darn world turned upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I know 'cause I was there that night in Berkeley Square. Now, there are times when you hear a song and you just love it, and that was the case with the next song, a John Denver song, which we've both enjoyed working up. Lovely words and a lovely, simple accompaniment. In fact, he also recorded it with Plácido Domingo as a duet. So this is Perhaps Love. Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort, it is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer, it wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through. Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel, to some a way of living, to some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go, and some say love is everything, some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain, like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel, to some a way of living, to some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go, and some say love is everything, some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain, like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains. If I could live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. Well, thank you very much for joining us. As I say, we will be putting out a varied selection of artists as Virtually St Margaret's. If you would like to help the cause and help us support professional musicians and artists, then please look on the website on how to donate. Even in a small way, every little would help us. Meanwhile, let's hope we get back into this building with a live audience and where we can celebrate what a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see clouds of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll know much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll know much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.